Every year as spring begins to blossom, the joyous feeling of knowing E3 is around the corner overcomes me. That in a few months, me and the boys and our only female friend will get together and scream at a TV as things we aren't going to buy, but like the idea of get announced. All the while switching between streams and arguing which one was better quality or less laggy, but the answer is neither, since some things are just guaranteed with E3. However, disappointment is not guaranteed. Just very likely. So please join me as I massacre everything of note in this E3 2017 roundup. Wow, suck it, Sony.
To see more than 20 million players embracing the game, crafting their own memorable moments, only possible.
Like, they practice these presentations, right? They what the fuck is that?
I went early, Rog. I went early.
Do you really need to sell people on this game still?
I am here to talk about Need for Speed Payback. If you guys didn't know, Need for Speed Payback,
Wow, a game that requires one whole other human being to be near another. Hard sell, good luck with that. There's some silly shit at this conference, but teasing a game literally one day before showing it off is too much.
I'm also an advocate for in-depth cinema caliber story in games.
Man, this might have been the messiest showing of any game in recent history. Patting yourself on the back because you can read tweets doesn't exactly paint you as very competent. It's kind of pathetic, if anything. I mean, obviously they're trying to trick people into thinking they're good guys and didn't stiff anyone with Battlefront, but hey, it seemed to work on a few people on my Facebook feed. Also, how do you boast about having a campaign, bring out the main character's actress of said campaign, then not show off the campaign? It's very reassuring. I'm sure the campaign will be there just as much as the multiplayer was in the first one. So congratulations, EA. You weren't even laughable, just awful. I've never felt physically ill after a conference until this one, so there's that exception. But hey, you can make up for it by having Visceral and Respawn games next year. I'm sure you can afford to cut some sports screen time for them. Whatever, what do you got, Microsoft? Square Enix? Why wasn't this at a conference? Whatever. The nebulous nature of Kingdom Hearts' setting and story was something I always thought was very special with 1 and 2, as how these games start as well as where they end up is very remarkable. However, since those two, there's been a bunch of spin-offs that matter quite a bit, leaving this game with a pretty obvious starting point and not much whimsy in my eyes. It also doesn't help that it looks like it's going to be a bunch of shallow gimmick systems plated on from the spin-offs. I'm not a huge fan of this series, having only beaten 1 in Birth by Sleep, but I can only hope it's worthy of the number 3 in the title. Okay, for real, Microsoft, sell me on this console.
Fittingly named Xbox One X. 4K, 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 4K Vapor, $499.
Alright, well, good luck with that one.
The 2018 Porsche 911 GT2 RS.
Someone just got a bingo or killed themselves during a drinking game. Okay, seriously, why are they showing Ubi's biggest game and EA's new IP here? What? 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 Why is this so fast? Oh yeah. That's the good stuff. Sure, this was announced a few days earlier, but whatever, a fucking Dragon Ball fighting game by Arxis, excitement is a bit of an understatement. They've already showed their ability to make a high-quality fighting game that stays truthful to the IP, but in this case that might be a problem, as Dragon Ball doesn't have the most diverse cast of character types. It's a whole lot of energy beams punching and screaming, so it would be best to include characters with unique flair, not 3 Gokus and 3 Gohans. For example, while Bulma isn't a fighter, she's had plenty of screen time to do an assortment of things with varying technology, so she could be a weird item character, in this case using capsules to fight. Also, she shouldn't have alt colors, just different hairstyles. I'm amazed no one's actually forgotten about this game, and it has a release date now, so that's cool. But does anyone even know what this game actually is? It's a nightmare to follow what's going on, so it's probably going to have some serious conveyance issues, but hey, it has a really cool art style. Should probably play the first one. Should probably play the first one. Oh hey, it's that thing EA teased literally one day before its gameplay reveal. There's a bit to say about this one since I think it has a tall order to fill. Not only as the big BioWare Edmonton game, but because people want with this game what Destiny has failed to do. As they want something that's, you know, good. I could make a whole video on what this game needs, but I'll keep it as brief as I can. 1. Non-homogenized classes, or in this case, suit types. Tank guy should be able to tank, pulsing blue dude should focus on abilities and use space magic. Variety between types allow for special encounters/bosses to be more unique and complex, as well as define roles between players, making them feel special. 2. It needs dungeons and raids with loot tables. If I kill a boss, it should drop something. Maybe not something I want or can use, but it should drop a fucking piece of gear, not have a chance to drop a piece of gear. 3. I'd heavily prefer if there isn't rolled stats or perks on gear. There's probably enough RNG bullshit you have to do to get it already, so it's a spit in the face when it just ends up shit. And lastly, a pretty simple one. Have plenty of shit in the world. With the free-moving nature of this game, I'd hope it's less quest-focused with stuff like, hey, go fuck 10 pigs, and more get pointed in a direction and enjoy exploring. That all sounded pretty strange, Sin. Very oddly specific, almost like complaints for a game you don't play, yet you have 2 friends that play it and enjoy it, and you don't know why, because it looks really dumb, and I hate Destiny. Overall, though, Anthem is a BioWare game, so I hope there's a decent RPG in there. And I guess some story and exceptional characters. Hey, you know what's worse than video games? Children. You know what's worse than children? Dishonored. Reality. And you want to know what's better than Todd Howard lying about some new IP's scope? A game I want to play. Wolfenstein was the first game shown at E3 this year. I'm probably going to buy it released on October 27th, 2017. The personality, tone, and pacing of this trailer is marvelous. I didn't know there were bards in World War II. I can only hope the game is filled with absurd sequences on par with what was shown, and that dropping acid is a reoccurring, if not ubiquitous, mechanic in the game. Oh, I fucking hate Minion. What? Oh wait, what? This is real? Wait, what the fuck? It's just XCOM. Wait, what the fuck? This looks great. Okay. Of all the things to sell me on a Switch, this should not be the thing. It really shouldn't. Yet here I am putting this in my top 3 games of the show. Now, I like to think the director absolutely hates XCOM, but he hates it for very specific reasons, as, you know, sometimes you love the core of a game, but it's like, oh, this little thing over here. So I'm being told, hey, you're making a Rabbids Mario game, have fun, do whatever, make it good. He figured it's now or never to fix all the things he hates. I like South Park as much as the next guy. Grew up with it, see it all the time, it's still around. I don't have much to say about this, but I just want to note how, somehow, we live in a world where the French have more RPGs to show than the Japanese. Okay, maybe not, but this is 2 turn-based RPGs in 1 conference, and that's worth a lot in my book. Haven't you been in enough games already? Well, they can't change it now, but this name blows. Get it like the wind. Pirates and sailboats. You see what I'm doing? I'm explaining jokes like everyone who makes one on stage. For all I know, this is a game about a skeleton split in 2 and the skull's name is Skull and the rest is called Bones. It should have been named something more telling of the multiplayer ship battle and looting gameplay. Something like Sea of You know what? It should have just been called Black Flag. No. Black Flags. Yeah, multiplayer.
After our announcement at E3 last year.
Holy shit, this isn't out yet?
Since then, a full year of support and continued...
Holy shit, this came out? Yeah, that was pretty cool cinematic. Sounds nothing like the original, but there's a space pirate ship and you build a crew of defined characters, so I'm pretty about that. Once again, I should probably play the original. Xbox One has backwards compatibility with PlayStation 1 games. Yeah, that's where that joke's going. Before continuing, I must congratulate Ubisoft. You managed an exceptional conference for once. But the bar was pretty low, so don't feel too good about it. So it's time to move on to the conference where Bloodborne 2 wasn't announced. Oh good, the musical presentation is smaller this time. Maybe next time they won't have it. Oh, congrats Horizon, there was a game announced with a worse title than yours. Also, quick Horizon Zero Dawn critique, it should just be called Zero Dawn. I hate that this will sell on virtue of what it is. I like to think the entire world is sated, if not sickened with zombie shit. Yet here this is, center stage, full demo. This certainly isn't helping my appetite for when the rest of us comes out. Ooh, this might be where I get in. My hands are busted enough as is, so not having to palm a 3DS might be all it takes to get me in. That and this one has exploration. Okay. I don't even know what to say to the okay. I can't be mad. Sec, let me fix this. Nice. Hey, they fixed my issue with the fishing. Who knew you just needed a $400 headset? Nice. Ugh. It's kind of fucked up this is just called God of War, especially when in the trailer there's art of old Kratos implying what happened previously matters. So I'm not sure why it's not just called God of War 4. Okay, God of War's fine. Otherwise, I don't have much to say. It looks good. I just can't get aroused at an action game unless there's a thick range of weapons and all I see is a fucking axe. So I plan on playing this 2 years after its release when it's on sale, maybe.
Hold on, just a little while longer.
Spoiler, they're not androids. They're all magically possessed by some ancient entity. Oh man, David Cage, you know how to fucking do it, man. No one in the industry is on your level, wherever that might be.
Undisciplined. Cowering.
Hope Anthem's good. Allow me to reenact my reaction and everyone else's to this moment in the presentation.
Yuri, I'm here.
Holy shit, is that Yuri Lowenthal? People in the house I was watching this at yelled that from the other room. I didn't even know they knew who Yuri Lowenthal was. And you know what, the irony of Spidey talking to a character named Yuri is just too much. As for the game itself, yeah, that looks right. I wasn't too keen on the cinematic QTE stuff, but what else am I going to get for a Spider-Man game? Really though, more than the combat and presentation, the world needs to be boiling over with Spider-Man fan service. I think it'll be fine though. If the Arkham games are going to be the standard and mold this game uses, it'll probably be superb. I might get it. So after all that, I felt very blue-balled after Sony. There wasn't anything new and exciting like Bloodborne 2, even though that's even an old IP, so I was feeling pretty down afterwards. They would have been the ones to have all the weeaboo shit I care about, but it wasn't there. And the show was even shorter than the rest of the conferences so far. So, Nintendo, you have 25 minutes, and I better get my happy ending. You see that Monado? You can fuck it, Shulk. A real shame I hate FF12, because something inside me yearns to like these games. Not Cross, though, or X, whatever it's called. It had fucking Hiroyuki Sawano soundtrack garbage. I mean, it was good in Attack on Titan, but the dude's got one song. Whatever. I don't hate this game's existence. I actually kind of like these... I sort of like these character designs compared to Cross, but I just find it's really strange that Xenogears managed to spawn all this nonsense.
Game Freak has begun developing a core RPG Pokemon title on Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, no shit. Give me some shocking news. I'm gonna say something here. I try to be realistic, but we live in a world of absurdity. And I know we'd probably already know if they were developing, but I think this would be interesting to see in the hands of From Software. Not like Full Control, but that studio has a proficiency that could work well in making this series fresh. I say this having not played the Prime games, however, after 3 games and many years separating them, a new take is needed. Plus, more than anything, the announcement it's from Soft making the game would be a huge shitstorm, and I just want to see that more than I want to play the game. Fuck this! How the fuck are you only gonna include characters from Marth's shit games and then fucking Fates? No, all the good shit's in the middle. What is so hard to understand about that? Like, and it's just sword dudes. There's so many good characters that they're not gonna use. You know what? I have an idea. Just put SMT characters in it too and call it another fucking crossover that I'll never touch. God, fucking... Come on, Nintendo, I need something good. Yeah. Yeah, you know how to end the show. I don't think there was a better game to close out the E3 presentations with than this. I've never been a fan of Mario games. I've never hated them, but Sunshine was the only one I ever played for any time at all. I want to say I beat the 3DS game, or no, the DS game, the one that came out in the DS. But one year, with the prospect of Bayonetta 2 being released in 2014, I decided to get a Wii U, and I did so the Christmas 3D World was released. And man, let me tell ya, I don't think I've ever been as happy playing a game in a very long time. I know the diehards think much less of that game, but I'm a huge fan of tight and tasty design, and that game is course after course of nothing but that. So, with Odyssey being made by that team, I have nothing but the greatest faith that this game will be beyond anything I've played in a while, especially with the puzzle elements being shown. To see a Mario game following a story that could have a grand escalation of scale as the world state changes is a feeling so wonderful. The world appears to be nothing but fun and shit hidden all over to play with and try. My only minor hope is that I know it's meant to be an adventure away from the Mushroom Kingdom, but I hope some notable characters from the Mario universe make their way in to help him out as things get grander and grander. I mean, hey, Mario's gonna maybe plan a counter wedding. He's gotta invite someone. Also, that game's gonna end on the moon. It will. Also, it's kind of fucked up that Pauline is singing Jump Up Superstar. Since that game is about Mario saving Peach, they're gonna have to rename it Super Mario NT Odyssey. So when's this coming out? Oh, fuck, sorry Wolfenstein, I gotta cancel our date. So, in summary, Devolver Digital